kind of talk a little bit also about the Debt Collector series, because that was kind of early on. It was the first stuff that I read from you, and it kind of came in that time period where you as a person were kind of feeling a level of desperation that I think came out on the page. And your work that's followed has been great, and in many ways has been better by evolution, where you as an author kind of improved your chops a little bit. But
Hmm.
even with that series, there's a rawness to it that I wonder, like looking back on it now, is that is that something you struggle to recapture because of where you were in that moment? Is it sort of a unique series where you could have only written it at that time in your life, or like sort of what place uh, does that 3 book series hold in your life?
Well, that's a great question. Definitely Pay Up and Die, the first book. I could not write that now because that was so. I mean, I was Michael Wright. That
Mm-hmm.
was me. It was clearly the point in time that I was in. It was very autobiographical to a standpoint. I mean, I didn't do those things
Right, right,
to
right.
my kids and everything, but it was the like you said, the desperation, the rawness. That was very much a point in time. So no, I would not be able to do that again for that one. The other 2 books, Delinquent and Bankrupt, um, I think were just natural extensions of the series and are more crime thrillerish as opposed to that raw, almost like exploitation film type thing feel of Pay Up and Die. So um, Delinquent and Bankrupt, I think I would be able to do again because it was more fleshed out and had more of a not ensemble cast because it's not a ton of characters, but it was just a more level, I guess, field for the characters as opposed to Pay Up and Die was very focused.
Yeah.
Um, so no, those 2 books I think I could have written at any time, but yeah, it's weird. I kind of have a love hate with that series.
Yeah.
So I hate it because it was like really my first finished series, and now I feel that I'm better,
Right.
and so in some respects I don't think I'm embarrassed by it, but I know it could have been better. I guess I'll say that. But then on other levels, I do love it because it's really the first series I finished. It's really what got me going in the fiction world, and oddly enough, some other author friends of mine who have checked out some of my work, that they'll say like they think Pay Up and Die is like my best book. The only time I was looking back on any of my series was really when I had to go back and polish them up and really make them super professional
Yeah.
with new covers, new formatting, higher level editing and stuff. Other than that, you know, I'm still proud that I was able to complete stuff and do it. And I just hope for the best for the books. And at the end of the day, all I want to do is tell good stories. So hopefully people who read them just go, "Wow, that was a great story." Kept the pages turning, whatever, and that's it. I just want people to like the story. That's all.
Yeah, it it doesn't surprise me that a number of readers pick that out as your best, and it also doesn't surprise me that you would disagree. I think there's sort of a weird place that early stories hold, and especially when they're a good early story, because you can almost like drive yourself mad trying to figure out what works about that like, is there something there I can recapture, or like the terrible temptation to fix it, quote unquote,
Yeah.
and then you realize I am very much in danger of writing out what makes this great, and then never being able to get it back, kind of thing. So there's a few books like that. For me, it's more short stories, like where I'll go back and visit an old short story and I'll just I think I'm pretty objective to where I can say, okay, this whatever I did here didn't work, or obviously this is working for people and I can't figure out what it is. But like I can objectively look at a story and understand, okay, there's something unique here that works, that is kind of out of my reach now. Like I could still do good stories, but I can't do this story. And so I'm always very, very careful with those stories because a lot of times I'm re-editing things to resubmit them or put them up, and I'm like, it's not worth it to me to quote unquote fix this, because there's something here I can't get again. I can get something better, I can get something different, but I can't get this. So I think Pay Up and Die holds that spot, and I imagine that's very scary on a novel level, just because, and especially when it's an early novel, to where like you kind of see yourself evolving, and you're like, okay, am I losing something here, or that kind of thing. But Pay Up and Die is a good example of that, to where like the story you could only write at that point in your life, and it's good for very unique reasons, you know. But as an author, it'll drive you crazy because then you see everything else you didn't get right back then, like even down to sentence structure and things where you're like, oh, I can write better than that now, you know.